Today we're going to talk about a real-world collision and what it exposed. Stay tuned for this story. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Airing of Grievances. My name is Reamer. That's Robert Grieve. And as always, it's our pleasure to have you join us. And we thank you for taking time out of your day to spend some with us. Rob, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you, my dear friends. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again for all your likes and comments and shares and spreading the word. You're helping, so thank you.
Absolutely. And speaking of helping, that's what we're going to be talking about today, about how one gentleman, a body shop owner, helped somebody else who got the short end of the stick from their insurer.
Was going to.
Yes.
They tried.
Yeah. So, Rob, I'm going to turn it over to you. Set this up, and then I'll read the post in its entirety so that you guys get the understanding of what's really going on here. But this is going to sound very reminiscent of some of the drums that we beat.
Yes. So, scrolling through Facebook, saw one of my friends from South Louisiana, a shop owner there, was mentioned in a post and shared a post, and took a minute to read the post. And the purpose of this channel is to educate people. And this post struck me because it's somebody... It's a consumer that educated themselves and told the story, and I thought it'd be good for you to hear, not from us, but from another consumer that's already done the deep dive and made some decisions based on, this doesn't sound right to me. Something doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
And I think it's worthwhile.
In this story, we're going to use a 3-letter acronym that you are familiar if you are a regular here on our channel. That acronym is DRP. It stands for Direct Repair Program or Partnership. The post that I'm going to read for you here will also describe that very well, and we want you to be aware of it. So listen to this. Jeff's Jeep, a real-world collision and what it exposed. Last week, my son Jeff was in a wreck on his way home from work. Thankfully, he walked away without a scratch. But what happened after the accident is something I feel folks need to hear about, especially down here in South Louisiana, where we value our people, our property, and doing things the right way.
Amen.
I already like this guy.
Love it.
Jeff's vehicle was a 2014 Jeep Wrangler Willys Edition. Not just any Jeep, his baby. He spent years building that thing out just how he wanted it. Late nights under the truck, busted knuckles, sweat equity. Sounds familiar?
Yep, it sure does.
This wasn't just transportation, it was pride and passion on 4 wheels. But the moment the dust settled, the insurance company came calling. Not to check on him, but to steer him straight to one of their, quote, preferred shops. That's what they call a direct repair program, DRP. It sounds helpful on paper. In reality, it's the start of a whole new problem. Here's what folks need to understand about DRPs. DRP shops operate under strict contracts with insurance companies. Those contracts often require the shop to use aftermarket or salvage parts instead of factory OEM, cut labor times, skip steps or rush repairs, and follow insurer guidelines that have nothing to do with manufacturer standards or quality. That means the insured, the person paying for the coverage, is left with a vehicle that might look fixed, but is far from factory safe. And when it comes to safety, performance, or the resale value of that vehicle, corners like that matter. In my line of work, health, safety, and environmental compliance, we call that unacceptable risk. Now let me be clear. This isn't always the shop's fault. Most body shops get into DRPs thinking it's a good business move, a steady stream of work, they're told. But what they're really doing is signing away their autonomy. They're told how to fix, what to use, and when to do it. They become an extension of the insurance company instead of an advocate for the driver.
Amen.
This is not fair to them, and it sure isn't right for the customer. We took a different path, and I'm glad we did. I wasn't about to let Jeff's Jeep be patched up with junkyard parts. We found Advantage Collision in Houma, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, run by Mr. Abel Cantrell. And let me tell you something, this man runs his shop the way shops used to run. Honest, direct, and with the kind of integrity that's hard to come by. When I walked in, they didn't try to rush me out with a number. They told me when they could realistically start the work, about how long it would take, and most importantly, that they were going to do it right. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just a shop owner who refuses to be bought by the insurance companies and who still believes in protecting the customer first. I trust Advantage Collision. You should too. Know your rights. You don't have to use the shop your insurer pushes. You can demand OEM parts. You should report any steering to the Louisiana Department of Insurance. And most importantly, you deserve to be made whole, not shortchanged. We pay for insurance expecting protection, with slogans like a good neighbor, you're in good hands, etc. What we're often handed is profit-driven shortcuts. That's not just bad business, it's unsafe, and it's wrong. If you want to learn more about how this system works and how to protect yourself, go to stopdrp.com. Jeff's experience isn't just a father's frustration. It's a warning, and I'm sharing it because I've seen what happens when safety is treated like a liability. Whether it's in industry, medicine, or your own driveway, it's our responsibility to call it out and do better. Wow. That is written by a gentleman named John Need. And, Rob, we hear this story every day.
We do. We're part of it. The shop is a very, very well-known shop, and we've been friends for quite some time.
Yeah.
Everything he said, I find to be the same case. It's important that you choose where to take your car wisely. Don't take it from us. Don't take it from Abel. Take it from a consumer like yourself that took the time to do some research.
That's right.
And I couldn't have written it better myself.
No.
What he wrote, and he cares. He cares about everybody else, and I just felt compelled to bring this to you so that you can hear some of the things from another consumer's voice that took the time to do some research.
Yeah, and part of the issue, Rob, that we are seeing is so many body shops opt for this partnership with multiple insurers.
Yes.
And it really does appear to, in many cases, compromise the integrity of the relationship that should be with advocating for the consumer. We call them guests.
Yes.
But they can't.
No, they can't.
Not if they want to stay on this program.
Right. If you're the DRP shops or the direct repair program shops, the ones that are the partners with the insurers.
Yep.
The insurer is their consumer, not the person that owns the car.
Right.
And
that changes the whole dynamic.
It changes the whole dynamic. And, we've talked about this many times before. I found it very interesting that a guest would come out and put this kind of a post out there. And I'm grateful to Abel to, for sharing it. And I just, congratulations, John. You did a great job writing that and capturing the essence of what people, maybe you, the consumer today, are getting involved in. And I just want to say thank you to them, and I wanted to share it with you so you can hear from somebody else's voice rather than ours. And We support them wholeheartedly, and there's a lot of shops out there that care deeply and do the right thing. Finding them is, and generally speaking, they're not going to be on the list that the insurer sends you to say, hey, here's our handy dandy list of folks that
Preferred
you can,
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I want to take this opportunity to invite you, our viewers, to submit your own stories. If you've got a story just like John Need's story, send it in by way of the comments. If you need me to reach out to you directly, private message me on Facebook, or you can find me through this channel, obviously through the comments. But John summed it up perfectly. It's our responsibility to call it out and do better.
Yep.
So
that's what I have for Saturday.
I think short, sweet, but what a wallop it punches. And I think we just need to remember that there are real people driving these vehicles, and lives do matter. So I understand the desire to be profitable, but not at the expense of risking someone's life. Happy Saturday to you.
To you, my dear friends, thanks for tuning in and supporting the channel. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
God bless. Have an amazing week. We'll see you next Saturday.